Hi guys, welcome back to the interpretive reading of One Last Quest, or just regular reading. I'm reading my book, One Last Quest. I'm C.L. Creech. I'm the author, writer, creator of One Last Quest. Hope you guys have checked out the introduction and first 4 chapters. If you haven't, check them out. I had to switch over to my Kindle app. For this one, my internet's down today. I figured, hey, perfect time to record a few of these. So, been over a week since I recorded the last episode, so hopefully I can get the voices similar to what you guys have been experiencing. But anyway, let's get straight on into it. We are on chapter 15. We're over halfway through. Fried apples. Rick was sitting next to the fire, stirring a pan of fried apples. Kelly stood next to him, looking out over the lake. In their minds, they couldn't have been more different. But that's what was great about the Adventurers of Greythorne. No matter how different they seemed on the outside, it was their love for adventure and for each other on the inside that kept them together. I hope they're not going to be too much longer. These fried apples are almost ready, Rick said. Not to be rude, but have you ever done anything besides cook? Kelly asked, walking back to Rick. Rick thought Kelly always had a tone in her voice that made her sound like kind of a bitch, but he knew in her heart that she was a very caring and sincere person. Sometimes, Rick said with a smile. Have a wife that works 60 or more hours a week and 5 kids to keep up with. If I'm not running them around to their extracurricular activities, then I'm usually cooking or cleaning. Kelly knew what it was like to stay busy. She had a lot of animals to keep her busy, but she also had a lot of friends to help her when she needed it. That sounds rough, Kelly said. Must be hard to keep up. Rick never really thought about how hard it was. He just knew that he loved his family and loved doing what he did. Not really, Rick thought for a moment. I love my family and enjoy taking care of them. Makes life worth living for me. How about you? How are you spending your time these days? Kelly thought for a moment. She wasn't very different than Rick. She had a lot who cared for her and depended on her. Most of hers just happened to have 4 legs and fur. Eating fruit, Kelly responded. I take care of my animals. That alone's a full-time job. I also spend a lot of time with my Wiccan coven. We commune with nature and sometimes dance naked in the woods. It really helps us connect with Mother Nature. Rick stared at Kelly for a moment, imagining what her life must be like. While they were similar, they were still very, very different. As Rick was losing himself in his thoughts, Danny emerged from the tent behind him. Okay, Rick said with a smile. I admit your life doesn't sound too bad. Danny walked up behind Rick, overhearing their conversation. Yeah, she has a pretty great life, Danny said with a solemn smile. Kelly and Rick turned toward Danny. Kelly immediately turned red and became furious with anger. Yeah, Kelly exclaimed toward Danny. It's a life you'll never be a part of again. Everyone got quiet for a moment as Rick stomped back toward the edge of the lake. As Kelly stomped back toward the edge of the lake. Rick and Danny both looked at her for a moment before turning their attention toward each other. I don't know what you gave me, but I feel a lot better, Danny said to Rick. After Michelle and Jackie left, Rick had used some herbs he had brought with him, along with some honey and cream to make a small pain relief cocktail for Danny. It took a little while for it to kick in and work, but Rick was pleased to see Danny was feeling better. You're very welcome, Rick said with a smile. Danny looked at his friend and thought of all the things Rick had done for him and the rest of the group over the years. Maybe you should be the healer of the group, Danny said with a laugh. Kelly overheard them talking and decided to add her opinion. No, he can't be the healer, Kelly began to say. I know, Rick said, interrupting her with a laugh. I'm a wizard. Danny knew that Rick wasn't a healer in the game. He definitely had a way of healing in his own way. I don't really remember much. What happened to that bird that dropped the rock on me? Danny asked. Rick just glared at Kelly, thinking she should be the one to answer. It flew off. It didn't like you looking at its naked feathers, Kelly exclaimed. Danny was trying to figure out what Kelly was talking about. He noticed Michelle and Jackie paddling up to the shore. "Hey, cool boat. Where you guys been?" Danny asked. Danny had been so out of it he legitimately didn't know what had happened that morning. "That's a good question," Rick asked with his own sarcasm. "I've had lunch ready for like 15 minutes. Kelly walked over to help them pull the raft onto the bank, saying, "Catch anything?" Jackie jumped out to help pull the raft as Michelle guided it in from the back using a paddle. "Nothing. The lake was quiet all morning," Jackie said. "Barely even a nibble," Michelle added. Kelly was happy to hear this. As a vegetarian, the thought of killing fish for food bothered her. "Good, we don't need to kill innocent fish anyway," Kelly said with a smug look. Michelle jumped out of the boat and started carrying their gear toward the camp. "You know, I or sorry guys, kind of got lost for a second. I could have given you a nibble or two," Jackie said to Michelle with a wink. Rick just looked at the girls as he started plating the fried apples for everyone. He wanted to make sure they all had their fill. "Can you guys get over here so we can eat?" Rick said as he facepalmed. Rick loved the rest of the group, he really did, but sometimes he felt like he had to babysit them more than he did his own children. Again, guys, this was another quick chapter. Just kind of filling in, I guess, to bring Michelle and Jackie back to the rest of the group. I'm going to go ahead and record the next few episodes, so tune back in next as we start on episode chapter 16, another game. See you guys tomorrow.